Hey y'all, welcome back to the Fire and Water Cooking Channel. Today, something totally different. We're gonna power soak some black-eyed peas. I'll be right back, show you how I'm gonna do it. Don't go away.
Smoking, grilling, getting hot and hotter. Sous vide and chilling from fire and water.
Alright guys, this is the easy part. Like I said, I added about 5.5 cups of water in here with the 2 cups of beans. They're already starting to soak up some of the water, but I got a nice seal using my VAC 100 chamber sealer. The water was already kind of warm. It's up to about 150. I'm going to use 190 because that's usually where your higher density vegetables and beans will kind of cook pretty good. So I'm going to use 190. And we're not going to do it for that long. Like I said, about 2 hours. I might check them after an hour to see how much of the water they soaked up. And if they soaked up enough of the water, I'll probably take them out at that point. So I've already got it going. It's not up to the 190 yet, but I'm going to go ahead and stick these in here anyway, just to get them going. And I'm hoping it really doesn't take quite the 2 hours that I set it at. Hopefully, you know, having it at that higher temperature, it's going to suck up a lot of that water anyway. And then I'll be able to cool them down, put them in the fridge. But all I put in there was 5.5 cups of water, the beans, and I did put about a teaspoon of salt in there. So just a little bit of the Fresh Jack's pink Himalayan salt, just to have a little bit of salt in them. All right, guys, I'll check these back in about an hour to see where they are. So join me then. I'll be back. All right, guys, let's take a look at this. It's been in there about an hour at 190. Kind of waited till the look at that. That's looking pretty good so far. I mean, they've actually sucked up a lot of that water, but I'm going to leave them in here for just a little bit longer, maybe another 15 or 20 minutes. All right, I'll be back. Okay guys, it's been in there another 15-20 minutes. I think they look pretty good. I'm going to go ahead and pull them out. I think they've absorbed plenty of moisture there. So I'm going to go ahead, put these in the, kind of chill them in this cool water, not ice bath, just kind of let it come back down to room temperature. Go ahead and shut off my sous vide unit here. Let that cool back down. Going to let these cool down. Then I'm going to put them in the refrigerator. Tomorrow we'll finish these up with some ham and some chicken stock and onions and a little bit of this and a little bit of that. So I'll see you tomorrow when we're making these up. Okay guys, I'm back and I'm going to show you how I'm going to make my black-eyed peas. These I sat all night in the refrigerator after I sous vide them, where I speed soaked them, and they actually look pretty good. They sucked up a lot of that moisture. These are going to be really easy. I'm not going to make this fancy at all. I'm actually going to use mostly dried ingredients. Even the onion and garlic are going to be dried. So this is for something that, you know, most normal people can make really easy. So I'm going to go ahead and get my black-eyed peas in here. And it still has some of that moisture in there. Remember, that's about 2 cups of the black-eyed peas. Whew. And so we got about 2 cups of the black-eyed peas in there. Let me get a stir here. Use my spatula. I forgot to bring a spoon out, so I just want to kind of stir that up a little bit, kind of even them out. Nothing fancy here. All right, for my ingredients. So I got my black-eyed peas with a little bit of that water still. I'm going to I got in this 3 cups of chicken stock and a cup of water. So I'm going to mix that in, and we're going to let this cook down still. Kind of like a soup. I'm going to let that cook down. So about 3 cups of chicken stock, 1 cup of water. I got about 2 tablespoons of dried, granulated, big granules of garlic. You can use fresh. I'm just using dried in here. About 3 tablespoons of dehydrated onion. Again, you can use fresh. I'm using dehydrated. Since I got a lot of moisture in there, I can let it suck up some of that moisture. I got about 2 tablespoons of Italian seasoning. And you can use any kind of herb seasoning you want, but I'm using Italian seasoning. About 2 tablespoons, maybe 2 teaspoons to 3 teaspoons of kosher salt. And then I'm going to put about a tablespoon of Fresh Jack's Bold Bayou. It's a Cajun seasoning. So this is just for a little bit of that peppery Cajun flavoring. So maybe about 2 teaspoons, 3 teaspoons of that. And we'll season it up, add some more if we need to. So I got my liquids in there, got my dry ingredients, and what I've got here is about 4 full cups, maybe a little bit more, maybe 5 cups of chopped, diced, leftover ham. All right, guys, I lost some of my footage. So what I wanted to tell you is I got about 5 cups of chopped up ham left over from Easter in here. So I'm going to kind of show you before I turn this burner on, just what it looks like there from the top. We are going to let this cook down a little bit and try to get it thick, and then if it does need any more moisture, I'll put just a little bit more water in there, but kind of scrape down any of these seasonings from the side. As you can see, looks pretty good right now as far as seasoning goes, but I'm going to go ahead and turn on my burner. I'm going to turn it on temp mode and put it right at 350 and let that go. I don't really need a timer on it, so I'm just going to kind of leave it right at 350. If I have to, I'll turn it down if it starts to boil, gets too hot, but we'll leave it just like this and check on it. I'll put my lid on there. Just wanted to kind of show you, but we're going to let it just kind of cook down, and this shouldn't take too long, maybe a couple hours to get down a nice consistency, and then I'll be back, show you what we did. You guys see, got a rolling boil to it. So I turned the temperature down to about 250. I don't want to boil this thing the whole time, but I do got a nice rolling boil. You can see all the seasonings are starting to meld in there. The onions and the garlic have all rehydrated, and like I said, you can use dehydrated, you can use regular, fresh, cut up. It's all personal preference. I don't see a big deal in using dehydrated ingredients, especially when I'm making something like this. Some personal preference. All right, I'm gonna let this boil down just a little bit more, simmer down. Leave my top open so some of the steam can come out. Like I said, I got it down to 250 now. All right, we'll be back in a little bit. It's been on here another 15 minutes or so. It's getting down to where I think the beans are all ready. Ham's cooked real nice. I think I got a nice color on that liquid in there. It's not quite as thick liquid as I like, so I'm going to do a little trick. I do this a lot because I like to have these like in a kind of like a gravy type consistency. I don't like them really watery, so I'll add a little cornstarch slurry, which is about, a little bit more than a tablespoon of cornstarch with water, and it'll thicken up that moisture in there. There you go. You can see the onions and the garlic in there have all rehydrated really good. It's nice and thick. That's how I like it. Kind of like a chowder. See, it's not really as liquidy as it was. Go ahead and have a little taste. It's still kind of hot. I'm going to blow on it a little bit. Ooh, I don't want to burn my mouth. Smells really good. Yeah, seasoned really good. I mean, the salt from the ham, so I didn't need a whole lot of salt in the moisture itself because of the salt from the ham. I might add just a little bit more of this, give it a little bit more of a kick, a little more of a spice. This is the Bayou Bold, like the Cajun type seasoning from Fresh Jack's. You can taste the garlic and the onion. And that's it, guys. I think this is ready to go. I'm going to serve this over rice with some cornbread and maybe some corn on the cob. Check it out, try it, make some black eyed peas for yourself. Thanks for watching. Follow us on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. Follow the Fire and Water Cooking Podcast, and make sure you follow the next Fire and Water Cooking video.